Oh, come on, Shane. Why don't you want to dance, man?
No, thank you.
Hey, it's a Sportz Nutz, y'all. Let's get it.
The Sportz Nutz are back.
You are now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another amazing episode of the Sportz Nutz. And I want to say welcome everybody who also tunes in on our website, nuttysportstalk.com. We have such a great and actually we have more than great. We have an exciting episode lineup. As you guys see, my man sitting beside me, our man Tony is back for our Tony Knows Ball series as usual. We always have a lot of fun with him. And then we have a new friend. His name is Chris. He is with the Ultimate Playbook Sports Podcast. Really excited to talk to him about some football. Let's give a quick warm welcome to everybody tuning in live on 95.5 KFCE, TigerNation.live, 95.7 The Game in San Francisco, and the other 7 radio stations we air on across the lower 48, Alaska and Hawaii. And also to the now 46 countries we air in as well. Thank you guys for your continued support. We actually hit a milestone today. Well, not today, but this weekend. We are at 10,000 subscribers, more specifically 10,027. We're so excited. Thank you guys. Seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart, from Matt's heart, from Ben's heart, Shane. I mean, there's just so many great things that you guys could have chosen, and you guys did it for us. We really appreciate it. My man sitting below me, though, Shane Owen. I don't know if you guys saw him do his little dance, but Shane, what's going on, man? How was your weekend? Welcome to Tuesday. It's almost hump day, as you call it, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, got to stay in touch with the younger generation sometimes. So don't really know what it is, but they do it a lot.
This little like sprinkler thingy. Look at Tony laughing.
But man, it's been lovely weather up here. Low 80s, mid 80s, a lot of sun. Was able to go down to the bottom of the property and go meander in the creek with Lily for a little bit for the past couple of days. It's just getting back up that hill is a tough walk. I'm starting to feel the age, to put it lightly, but man, it's been great, and man, it's always great to have 7 on with us, man, and really enjoy talking ball with Tony, especially when it comes to the MLB, because hey, if you guys don't know already, he knows his stuff.
Yep, that's right, man. And as you guys see, Ben will be with us momentarily. It's about 7:45-ish. Matt's gonna be a little late because he is finishing up work. As you know, work is always a fun and dubious situation. Not Tony, man, what's going on, brother? How you been, man? By the way, tell everybody your great news, man.
I'm doing great. Actually, today was just a very overwhelming day for me. I got the call. I've been working on buying the house that I'm renting, and I close tomorrow. So, and also I'm seeing the Red Sox live for the first time in person. My favorite team since I was 7. I finally get to see them play live tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually probably going to just go down as the best day of my life. I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, it would make it even better if just randomly one of those bats were to fly in your direction, and then the players say, "Hey, let me sign that bat for you too." You know, you'd be in hog heaven, wouldn't you?
Where we're going to be at, you could get one of those high fly balls that kind of goes up and goes back behind the dugout because we're only 3 rows back. So
nice.
I'm hoping.
That would be a trip. Oh man, that's always when it's exciting, you know. So I want to let everybody know we had such a great weekend here at the Keeler household. We got to watch our girls play outside in the sprinklers. It was something that I did a lot when I was a kid growing up with my sister Jessica. We got to watch some amazing college softball over the weekend. And y'all, there's only like one day left of school for my daughters, so they're about to enjoy. Well, actually, Eastland's she got one day because Eastland's unfortunately under the weather. But they're excited for summer break, and gotta let everybody know also my daughter Addison, her playoff journey started last night. We won 12-2. We run rolled the other team, and Addison went 2 for 2. She had 2 doubles with 2 RBIs, and she got the game ball. I'm really proud of my daughter.
There you go.
She is at All-Stars practice tonight. It's going to be June the 5th is when we start the All-Star campaign. We have to play against literally the number 1 team in the entire state of South Carolina. And this is how good this team is. They could beat a JV team, and they're 8 years old. They run roll everybody. I mean, there was this team that we played against this season, and we lost 17-8, but they finished 9-1, and they even got blown. Oh no, not 8-2 as well, because they got blown out by that number 1 team, 24-1. So yeah, it's going to be a tough task to say the least. But shout out to my daughter Addison. So Tony, man, I'm so excited you're here. I have been waiting patiently to ask you this. You and I both saw this rumor, and the funny thing is, this was crazy part, y'all. Tony and I, we are so in sync. We talk all the time, right? About baseball. We both text each other, "Hey, did you see this? Did you see this?" It was kind of like instantaneous too. I want to ask you this. There's a couple rumors that are going around. The rumor mill is really circling about Rafael Devers possibly being either traded or signed to the Atlanta Braves. And then, Tony, you and I both saw this as well. Now, obviously, we both agree that that would be a serious downgrade for Atlanta. But we also saw that there's some serious traction gaining about the fact that Mike Trout could get traded to Atlanta after all. I'm in favor of that. I think he deserves a chance to win a ring. Anaheim isn't going anywhere anytime soon. It's not something you want to write home to mom about. I want you to give us your thoughts on the Rafael Devers talk, as well as the chances you think that Mike Trout could be an Atlanta Brave.
So let's start with Rafi Devers. As a Red Sox fan, he's definitely a hot topic in my camp. There is still debate, and probably always will be with Sox fans, on if it was a good idea to trade Rafi Devers. And that trade is where the concern with Rafi Devers starts. Is it true that Craig Breslow and his people botched the situation with bringing Bregman in and moving him to DH? Absolutely. How he handled it, though, showed his mentality. He chose to make a bigger deal, put his teammates in a bind, and ultimately earn his removal, which actually helped the Red Sox. His issue defensively is he's just not that good. He didn't do well at third in Boston. He has been very underwhelming at first in San Francisco. So that leaves his bat. In 48 games, he's hitting .240 with 5 home runs and 60 strikeouts and only 13 walks. Dude is trying to give a catcher a cold with how much he's fanning. He's not getting on base other ways either. His on-base percentage is only .288. So a guy that is heralded for his offense is not producing. Why would you waste money and draft capital on an overpaid bust? Boston, we almost all agree on one thing. We're happy San Francisco got all of that contract on. Even though none of the trade pieces really worked out, not eating any money on that overpaid deal that was panicked by the front office at the time because fans were mad about losing Mookie and Bogarts and didn't want to see him go too. With his results, it's clear it was an overpay, and he's not worth trading for, even with the Giants eating money. He's definitely a bust unless he can figure something out. He would definitely make it worse. As far as Trout is concerned, I think he would be a great addition to any championship roster. He has the talent to make any team better. The Angels have always deferred to him out of respect, so the question becomes, does Mike Trout want to go to Atlanta? The Angels know they owe him a lot, and he has all the power here. Mike Trout will decide where he goes next, be it Atlanta or San Francisco, which I've heard those rumors to. Very serious talks, according to sources that I have that are connected to the team. The Yankees will call. I know for a fact they will. So will the Phillies. Mike Trout deserves a title, but if he decides he wants to leave LA, he will decide where he wants to go to get that title. I would think Atlanta has to be a top contender, but it's honestly hard to say a percentage chance.
I know it would. I mean, I feel like a kid on Christmas morning, getting a present from having Mike Trout rep on being an Atlanta Brave. I mean, I've always had a great following of him. I think he's a fantastic player, a future Hall of Famer. I really feel it in my bones. So it's just a great player. Shane, go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, well, Tony, man, glad to have you on again with us for your bi-weekly Tony call. But man, I mentioned it subject last week on the episode I was on. The MLB and the MLB Players Association. They met last week, kind of both laid out their proposed kind of plans, where they're at and what they want, kind of deal. What are your thoughts on them kind of meeting this early and getting the ball rolling, before that December deadline hits?
Now, and these talks were really just a formal foundation laying from both sides on how they see the situation with the league as far as like revenue and everything else. Last negotiation, the players delivered their first offer to start the process about a month after this meeting was held. So if they're going to fire the first shot, it will be in a couple weeks. I do think there still is a lot of separation between the two sides, but I also think that they have incentive to find some kind of solution to keep baseball going while they hammer out the other details. Best case scenario is they take a page from the WNBA's book and agree to keep things as is and negotiate in good faith to avoid a lockout. There has been talk in political spheres of involvement with the federal government if there ends up being a lockout, and the league nor the players want that. So they have incentive to be reasonable during negotiations and keep baseball going. I think a deal gets done because both sides have financial incentives. However, I don't know yet if the season is impacted by that process. I definitely hope not.
It's getting like kind of ridiculous, honestly. I mean, we've well documented this conversation about the buy here, pay here Dodgers. That's kind of really the reason. There's no salary cap, and everybody is it's like example. This is like Oprah. You get a car, you get a max contract, you get a max contract. I mean, you have $1.7 billion laying right there with the Dodgers, so it's definitely frustrating. Now, Tony, this has become a theme. And it's very well documented. You've even mentioned it too, that the Atlanta Braves are on absolute terror right now. And the old saying goes, the rich get richer. Well, the once famed injury bug, as everybody calls it, in Atlanta may finally be getting his pink slip. But this is just this starting rotation is a thing of beauty for them. Heck, even Bryce Elder has turned into a web gem, which is really weird to say. And now the rumor has it that Paul Skeens wants to be part of the Atlanta Braves. Now, this was, according to several sources who are close to the situation. Give us your impressions on the starting five for Atlanta. And let's just say for bleeps and giggles, Paul Skeens does join Atlanta's rotation. How next level would it make this team?
I think Skeens to Atlanta is an interesting idea. If it happens to be this season, depending on who goes back to Pittsburgh, you're looking at Skeens, Sale, and Strider as your first three. Obviously, you could debate Skeens and Sale which order. I think Skeens goes first, Sale goes second, and then you got Strider at third. That is, in my opinion, a broken rotation. Imagine in a playoff series, those are your first three. That's just insane. And then you add in Bryce in that fourth spot, as long as he stays consistent. You're looking at as long as he stays consistent, that four, because you're always going to go to a four-man rotation in the playoffs anyway, that becomes one of the best playoff rotations in baseball history. And just because of those front three, it's so loaded. Bryce Elder just gets included, like Trent Dilfer got included on the Ravens Super Bowl team. It's. But as far as like where he's going to go, I don't know that part. I don't know, because I'll be honest, I don't think Atlanta would be a choice, and it's primarily because of Livy Dunn. I kind of expect him to look either like Yankees, Dodgers, Giants. He's going to want to go to one of those bigger cities, especially because of her work and what she does. That's going to be better for her. So I could see something like that happen if they let him choose. That if they aren't going to give him that courtesy of choosing, it becomes best package, and a team for a team that's always rebuilding, draft picks are gold. So a big name or two and a lot of picks from the right team, and he's on the next flight out.
That's crazy to think about. Go ahead, Shane.
Oh well, as Brandon's talked about the Braves a couple times already, I want to kind of keep it in the NL East. The Phillies, they're currently on a tear since they fired their manager and Don Mattingly's taken over. Other than them being over 500 for the first time since April 7th, I believe it was, and other than Schwarber's bat, what have you seen from this Phillies team that was such a drastic change in just switching managers as they did?
The Phillies have surged back and will be a force as a wild card team. As far as what they're doing, let's start with the offense. Brandon Marsh is hitting 324. Bryce Harper is hitting 277 with 12 home runs and a whopping 27 walks. That is plate discipline. Justin Crawford is hitting 263. Now, when we look at Schwarber's only hitting 230, but he's doing well with other ways like 20 home runs. He's got 111 total bases already, leading the team in both of those categories sizably. But let's not forget the pitching. Christopher Sanchez is a true ace. It's crazy to think about how he was their number 3 guy last year until Zach Wheeler went down. Sanchez has a 1.82 ERA with an 11.2 K per 9 ratio, and he's only given up 14 walks in 10 games. Also, he's had 7 quality starts in his 10 games. They just got Wheeler back, and he's also got an ERA under 2 as well for the 5 games that he's pitched. Also, the bullpen does what it needs to and doesn't give up a lot of games. Coach Mattingly deserves a medal for how he has revived that team.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, I even told Shane, I said it's kind of painstaking to say that both the Phillies and even the hapless Mets are kind of hot right now. It is a Mets. We know it's going to happen, so I ain't worried about them. Now, Tony, we recently had the vice president of the Modesto Roadsters on our team. Excuse me, on our show. Wow. They are a small ball system, Pioneer League, actually. And the amount of greats who have come through Modesto, California, it's unbelievable. We see, though, Tony, that small ball or minor leagues, as people know them as, are getting lots of headway these days. And more cities are adopting the more and more teams. In fact, my home team in Mobile, Alabama, has been in discussions. And this was recently brought to my attention from my cousin that they're trying to possibly bring back the Bay Bears. What do you think about the small ball, as they call it, and why do you think it is becoming more and more popular amongst all baseball fans?
I think those lower level programs bring back something that it just makes it that simple, intimate atmosphere that you can't get at a major league game anymore. You add in the cheaper costs and the young talent that is definitely still humble enough to be out in the town and contributing, and it's easier to like and connect with them. It's more of a family-friendly environment, and you add in that expense thing, you have incentive to enjoy it. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I do think that the Savannah Bananas are playing a role in this too. The interest in the Bananas has fueled more interest in local small town teams because you're hoping for a show. It's entertainment that your family can all enjoy. I'd love to see the growth. I hope it continues regardless of why. It's helping to breathe life back into baseball, and that's always good. And one of the other things is these guys are getting paid. It's still professional baseball. So they're still getting to live that dream that so many of us wish we could make. And for that, I respect them. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and Corey will even tell you he is the vice president of the team, and he was so elated. They played a team called the Oakland Ballers, which is a very very small team, but they're very powerhouse happy. And Modesto won 14-2, and it was an exhibition game, but they won 14-2. And awesome. Tonight is actually opening night for the Modesto Roadsters. So again, shout out to you, Corey, as well. Shane, go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, well, Tony, I hope we can get a few laughs about this one. But we saw this trend start in college football, and over what Friday night and Saturday and the weekend, it's transitioned into the MLB in Busch Stadium. We saw a group of fans up at the right field porch. Happened to be, I believe, like 17 Stephen F. Austin players that the Cardinals invited to go to the game since they were playing close by there. But man, really enjoyed seeing the passion for the game. But what does this kind of, we saw the manager go out, offer tickets, actually got the guys into the clubhouse and everything. What does this kind of say to you about the MLB and the fan interaction and everything that they're wanting to get into the game?
I think one of the things that has become prevalent in recent years is the social media side of fan reactions. I think it's great. Professional sports is an entertainment business. And when you can get the customer involved in that experience, it's always great. I remember back in the late 90s, the Phoenix Coyotes had made the playoffs and they did a whiteout theme for that playoff. And like, if you go back and watch those clips of the Coyotes home games, the whole stadium was white. And I'm not just talking about the people. Like that kind of energy spreads, and everyone, including the players, have more fun when things like this go on. There are teams around that have different, rally sections like that in different sports where this things exist. And I love that St. Louis is getting one. For St. Louis, I like that Oliver Marmol offered to buy them tickets to come back because he loved the energy, and they did. And that's how you encourage a fan culture and make your stadium a bigger home field advantage. It's great for baseball, and it's better than what used to happen at Fenway, where drunk Boston College students would sit in the cheap outfield bleachers and shout racial slurs at players. Like, I'd be with the guys in St. Louis in a heartbeat. It's infectious, and I'm not even a Cardinals fan, and I would still cheer with them.
Hey, I have two questions for you, but I'm going to ask you this next one. What are your thoughts on the whole situation with the Chicago Cubs player and the fan going back and forth with each other? I mean, it was pretty intense conversation between the two. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm going to say this. I'm conflicted in this story. Now, first of all, I will say absolutely, as a professional athlete, in that kind of a situation, you can't respond like that for PCA. And so for him to, initially he was like, I'm not going to apologize. And the next day I was like, yeah, it was a bad choice of words. It was a bad response. Like, he took ownership of it. So I will respect that. And I will say that he was in the wrong for responding the way that he did. But to that lady that was just shouting, you suck at him, when he put his body on the line to try and catch that ball to save the play, for her to yell, you suck at that guy, lady, you get out there and do it. I'm sorry. That's just disrespectful. And I will be on PCA's side for that, because you clearly have no understanding about what these guys are doing and the sacrifices that they put themselves into. Aaron Judge injured himself for a long-term injury when it was 1 or 2 years ago, where he went into the fence and got his foot stuck trying to catch a ball. Like, these guys put their bodies on the line, and you can't disrespect them for that. So, for that lady, you need to recognize what these guys are doing. But I will say that I understand PCA had to take the high road there, and he didn't. And so I understand why he's being held accountable for it.
Yeah, that lady, you're right. These guys, they're not just willy-nilly do whatever the heck they want to do and call it a day and get millions and millions of dollars. No, baseball is one of the hardest sports to really be a part of. I mean, it's grueling, and you don't get paid a lot until you show your worth of it. So yeah, that lady was stupid. My last question for you, Tony, is not least this. Now that we're about 50 games or so into the season, who are your clear favorites to win each division? And I know it's a loaded question, but who are your favorites for each division?
All right, so let's go ahead and clip this one, and we can put my feet to the fire in October if I'm way off with these. For the AL East, I've got the Yankees. I think they're really on it this year, and I like them as a team. I think as a Sox fan, this causes me physical pain to admit, but I think this is a year we're going to see the Yankees take it. For the AL Central, it's the Cleveland Guardians. I really like the Royals at the start of the year, but they're just not getting it together. Cleveland has made some big moves. That Patrick Bailey trade is going to benefit both sides. So I like the Guardians for the AL Central. The AL West, I'm going to ride with the A's and hope to watch the MLB try to host home playoff games in a minor league stadium. Now, when we go to the National League East is obviously the Braves. They're firing on all cylinders this year. I'm not betting against the Braves this year. The NL Central, I'm riding with the Cubs. You know, I love the energy that the Cubs have this year. They have an angry, scrappy energy. And I think that that's going to do well for them if they maintain it all year. And I think we're going to see a different side of the Cubs in the postseason. And then with the NL West, I think the D-backs are going to shock everyone. No, of course, it's the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers. Of course, it's the Dodgers.
but not as of right now.
Right. Though, yeah, the Padres had was a half-game lead, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the half-game lead, yeah. So
they'll mess it up. They always do.
It is them, yeah. You sat there and you said it's going to be interesting to see how they host at a minor league ballpark. You know, it'd be really funny is if they suddenly say, "Can we have the Oakland Coliseum back to host a playoff game?" That'd be perfect. I mean, that literally would be like the creme de la creme. And Oakland would be like, "What are you going to do for us?"
The city would come unglued if that happened. But now I'm even more praying for the A's to win that.
Just to see
that happens. That would be prime television just to watch how that battle goes down.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
definitely.
Oh yeah. Hey, your guy Brandon said 7. It's going to be the Mariners in the West, but yes, I would love to see baseball playoffs in Sacramento. Hey, I'm telling you, man, it would be funny. It would be funny. Talk about reverse roles on there if that happens. Tony, man. I really want. Also, what are your thoughts on the fact that that Aaron Bummer finally got his pink slip? Because I mean, the dude's ERA, it was absolutely abysmal.
I'm a little conflicted because I get why he was sent packing, because when you look at, I mean, just this year alone, he's got a 7.63 ERA over 19 games. He only has 15 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts. Like that's, you don't want that nobody wants that from a reliever. So I think for me, the thing that I feel worst about for the Braves is that you're still going to have to pay that contract. And unless you can hope somebody will grab him so that you're only paying, you're at least getting a little bit of that back with them paying the vet minimum. So, but I just realistically, when you look at his numbers, he's never been really super consistent. Like 21, 22, probably his best time. And even in those, he still only pitched in a grand total of 100 or not even 100 games out of those 2 seasons. So you need to right now, the standard for a reliever is much higher than it used to be. You can't have a guy that can come out and just knock down 2 batters. You just have to ride that part out. And that's the best you would get out of him. And so I think Aaron Bummer is going to make a great pitching coach for the Atlanta Braves minor league team or the Chicago White Sox minor league system in a year or 2 when he's ready to come back to the game.
I agree.
Yeah,
his name is
hold on. That's another thing, to kind of tie in what you were talking about, 7 with the rotation. The Braves still got some young guys coming back. They're kind of starting rehab assignments. So you can look at some of these starters going into that middle relief kind of role.
Yep.
Like say Grant Holmes, a great middle relief guy to set up that back 3 that you have just sitting there waiting.
Exactly. And that's honestly, I think you would get a lot more out of Grant Holmes if you have him in that position. I think he would do really well with that. And especially if you get a situation where somebody's got a strain in their muscle, so you need to have him go 5 innings, 6 innings, or, even sometimes use him in a role like Boston's trying to do with Brian Bayo, where you have somebody go out for an inning and then he does 5 or 6. You're still going to get a lot more out of him in that role. He's a back end of rotation guy for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. His name is Tony Glanstall. He goes by Steven. You can find him on the podcast Name Deferred Network and the Wire to Wire Sports Network. Tony, when can everybody catch you next on the air, and how can they follow you? And also, when are you hosting karaoke next, as our audience members may want to join you for some fun?
Wow. Okay. So there normally episodes of Podcast Name Deferred are on Wednesday evenings at 10 p.m. Eastern. As I said earlier, I'm going to the Red Sox and Royals game tomorrow at Kauffman Stadium, which, by the way, go to Kauffman Stadium at least once. It's a beautiful stadium. And so I will not be doing an episode, but you can catch up and kind of hear how we do things if you can check it out on Wire to Wire Sports YouTube, or go to Spotify and just search Podcast Name Deferred. I actually found I searched Podcast Name Deferred the other day just to kind of see what came up, and found out we have an IMDb page that's strangely accurate considering I've not put in any information. So I've got to get in and claim that before, something weird happens. But yeah, you can check us out on Spotify and, get a listen, get a feel for the craziness of our show. I will be hosting karaoke Friday night, Mad Rocks in Derby, Kansas. We have a lot of fun, and I play horrible music. That's just what we do. And then I will be on the Sports Report podcast Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, also on the Wire to Wire Sports Network. With that one, we talk all kinds of sports. So definitely join us for that. And, you guys, thank you so much. Congratulations for 10K. You definitely deserve it. Thank you for having me. It's always an honor to be able to join and spend time with you guys, because you guys grill me and make sure I actually know what I'm talking about. So you guys keep me on my toes, and I appreciate it.
Of course, man. We always have a blast. We enjoy every single time. I mean, and our audience loves you, as you've gained almost 200,000 views alone with us. So that just goes to show everybody loves talking baseball. Tony, man, we will see you in the next, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. We will see you then, man. Until then, enjoy the baseball game, and congratulations on closing on the house. A big, big moment. Forever and a day. I mean, I remember when I closed on this house, I kind of cried. I was like, oh my God, like this is ours. And it took me, I literally, me and my wife there was no furniture in our living room. And we sat down on the floor and we said, wow, we did it. We own a home. And that was just such an amazing moment in one's life. So congratulations on that, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Tony?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Stay safe. Have a good day.
You too, man. Take care.
See you, bud.
It's always good to talk to him. I mean, he's a legend, dude. He really is. I love it. It's always good to get the vibe around baseball world, and that's what we get with him. So really honored with that one. So man, as you guys got to hear, we are at 10,000 subscribers. Yes, we have made it, and we're waiting for our next guest to hop on. But Shane, what do you think now that we are at 10,000? Like, what is running through your mind knowing that 10,027 people enjoy us that much on YouTube alone?
Man, it seems like just yesterday we were all excited once we hit that 1K mark.
No, I remember we hit 100. We were like kids on candy store when we got that 100.
Oh yeah, and but man, it's been an enjoyable ride, and glad people can pay attention to us long enough. We spout out some senseless jabber, I guess you could call it sometimes, but man, we enjoy doing it, and we appreciate all the love and everything from everybody out there, eclipsing that goal of that 10,000 mark that we had.
Yep. Well, it's not done yet. Here's to 10,000, and we're waiting for when we hit 20,000, we can go and hit it. Oh man, we're excited about that one. All right, so guys, this next guest is a real treat. His name is Chris. He runs a podcast called The Ultimate Playbook. He talks to a wide variety of former football players and some current ones. He is actually set to talk to Deshaun Jackson's right-hand man on the Delaware State team. Oops. Chris, man, how are you doing, brother?
Pretty good. What about you guys, man? Excited to be here.
Oh, man, so good to have you on. Thank you for coming on. By the way, happy Tuesday. You've made it to Tuesday. It's almost Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
So, Chris, by now you've seen them, hopefully all 32 of them. The NFL schedule released their shorts that came out for every team, and they have to say some of them are pretty creative. Which ones did you like the most, and which ones did you laugh at because you knew right away what the theme was?
Honestly, to me, the Colts, man. With the whole Simpsons theme, that was great. I mean,
I died laughing too.
It was a great watch. But one of the coolest ones I watched was got to be the Chargers, man. I mean, it was so cool to see like the whole like Halo references that they did. I believe they did like it was based off I think it was Halo Reach, but I don't remember for sure. But no, those were the two that caught my eye the most. And then obviously the Bears one too with the art. That was kind of cool as well.
I like the Rob Riggle one where they were talking. I remember which one it was. It was like you're back in the '90s at like a call in for like a like QVC almost, and they're like, "You want to get some mountain mile high air?" And he holds a jar. And the woman goes, "Did the horse fart in it? Because I got the one the horse farted." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that was the perfect thing." Just randomly spits out that she's talking about a horse fart. I loved all of them. There were some really creative ones. I did like the Halo one too with LA Chargers. The Falcons one was pretty funny. How they did the old "This is Sports Center" style, and it was This is Falcons football, and they all did those little things. And Matt Ryan did his get bleeping set one was perfect. I died laughing. Shane, which one did you like the most out of those?
I enjoyed the Browns. The Browns had a pretty interesting one, that whole nostalgia kind of 90s throwback kind of deal that they did. Of course, the Panthers blowing up everything. That was always great to see.
That was great. That was funny. That was funny.
That I think it just shows how, with the social media teams and what these teams are doing to put together, all this stuff for the fans, especially, how they did it this year, kind of blitz of, hey, okay, one's released. Okay, that one's good. Let's see what the other ones are now. So it kind of made you want to go look at all of them, not just your team. So definitely great to see in that deal.
I like the Vegas Raiders one too, where they did the Step Brothers type theme with Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. That was
pretty funny.
They look like they could be cousins. They look like they could be cousins though.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. 100%.
They really do. When I started watching it, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. And it started off like, so the way it starts out is Fernando Mendoza standing on one end, Kirk on the other, and they go, "Hey, what's up?" He goes, "I'm Kirk. I'm Fernando." And then it's like they started this whole stepbrother type thing. It was perfect. And they even have a picture like you saw Will Ferrell and oh my God, remind me his name. The other guy
John C. Reilly.
Yeah. And they actually had Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza in that pose. It was perfect. Oh, I loved it. It was I love the creativity. You kind of have to be creative nowadays, especially if you want to, get your fans' attention fast. I love all of the 32 teams did a really good job in releasing. Caleb said, "My Commanders had another boring, lazy schedule release." Sorry to hear that, Caleb. Man, I hate that.
I know them too. That's They did. I can't lie. It was bad. It was really bad. But
Shane, go ahead, man.
I was going to say the advancement of social media in general with that. I mean, they're only going to get better and better, I think.
Oh, I agree. Wholeheartedly. Well, I mean, and just and look, I know you're young and you're only in your 20s. Oh, I'm 42. Shane's in his almost 30-year-old, almost in his 40s. I have to throw that in there, Shane. But because he always talks about the younger. We know these things. We remember the call-ins for QVC. We remember all the Sports Center commercials. I mean, there's so many things that we grew up, and I love how they're bringing back the nostalgia style for all their schedule releases. I absolutely enjoy them. They were a hoop. All right, Shane, go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, well, Chris, as Brandon mentioned, man, thanks again for joining us this evening. And we've said it plenty of times on our show here, but that 2027 draft class is going to be a pretty big one to go after, especially with all the talent at QB that they have. But we did see a pretty, decent top-heavy draft, as you would say, this year in 2026. What I really want to know is who are going to be your top rookies that we saw drafted in 2026 on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball?
Ooh, this is tough, man. Honestly, I think Mendoza landed in a really good situation. Kirk, kind of takes the pressure off of him starting. In general, that team's going to be really good. I think Mendoza, if they can draft him, say like a Jeremiah Smith for next year, oh my gosh, that would be so fun to watch. All three of the receivers that were drafted, Mekhi Lehman, Jordan Tyson, and Carnell Tate, all of them landed in decent situations. Lehman should be receiver 2, with obviously the AJ Brown rumors that have been popping and swirling everywhere that he's going to go to the Patriots. Carnell Tate will probably start as a receiver 2 as well, but eventually get to receiver 1. That's going to be great to watch. And then Jordan Tyson with the Saints. Kellen Moore is an offensive genius, and I can see him getting involved right away and eventually making that next step to, say, like a top 20 wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, overall, the top-heavy class for offense is decent. And then, obviously, my guy, I'm a Notre Dame fan, Jeremiah Love as well. I didn't like where he landed, unfortunately. I don't think the Cardinals were the best fit for him, but I still think he's going to do great things. And then defense, Ruben Bain was a steal at 15 to the Bucks. Arguably probably the third best prospect in that class as a whole. I mean, there's a bunch of guys, but overall rankings, I believe he was like third or fourth, probably second best edge rusher there. Liked what Tampa got. Overall, Bain is going to be really good for them. And then Caleb Downs. I know Caleb's going to hate this. Caleb Downs to the Cowboys was an absolute steal at 11. He's a freak of nature. I believe he was. Most people were saying that he could act like a pro athlete at the age of 17. He's going to be really good in this league. Probably one of the best safeties in football, given in the next 2 years or so.
We're talking to Chris of the Ultimate Playbook podcast. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, he is here. He has made it. He has made it. Ben, it's good to see you, brother. What question do you have for Chris, man?
Yeah, Chris, first of all, welcome on the show. Sorry I couldn't be here sooner, but it's a pretty unique privilege to talk with you, man. I got a question for you, a good question. I feel like, what in your mind, of across all the Super Bowls? I know we can talk about the Atlanta Falcons 28-3. We can talk about, maybe the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl with Nick Foles. We can think about all the great Super Bowls.
28-3 stuff.
We can think about all the great Super Bowls across all of history. But in your opinion, what is the best Super Bowl in your mind? The most entertaining, the best. I mean, I'm talking absolute cinema type Super Bowl. What is your favorite Super Bowl?
Oh, this is hard. Wow, that threw me off. Well, as a biased Bears fan, I got to say 85, but for non-bias purposes, that's actually really tough. Let me think for a second. I'll go. I kind of want to say like the last Super Bowl that Brady was in 2020. I want to say actually, no, I won't say that one. I'll go with the 2021 Super Bowl, Rams Bengals. I mean, that game was really good overall. Burrow and Stafford, those two just kept dealing. I don't remember the final score of it off the top of my head, but it was a really good game. And, the Rams finally get their first, I believe that was one of their first rings after losing to the 2017 Patriots team in that stinker of a game. Stafford gets his first ring, which, I mean, I'm a Bears fan. I don't like seeing Stafford, but I have to give it up for him. He needed a ring, in my opinion. Absolutely needed a ring.
I think so. This is how. Goodness, I know you're young, so you don't know a lot of this. I remember Chris Collinsworth playing, and Shane will tell you I cannot stand Chris Collinsworth to save my life.
I can't stand him in the booth. So
gosh, he's annoying. He's obnoxious. There was one time, this is how boneheaded Chris Collinsworth was. One time the Falcons were playing the Packers. And he goes, well, the Packers just got to score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, get an onside kick, score another touchdown, another 2-point conversion. They can do this all in 13 seconds. I'm like, what did you just say, Chris Collinsworth? And my wife heard that and she goes, what? And I was like, I have no idea what he just said. That was absolutely the dumbest thing. And then Matt, our good friend Matt, he's part of the show. Before I'd even started the show, he texted me and he goes, did you not hear what Chris Collinsworth just said? And I was like, I was about to ask you the same thing. And he goes, our good friend Brian Greenblatt just texted him and said, what? And I was like, that was absolutely the most dumbest thing I've ever heard him say. You can score basically 18 points in a matter of 13 seconds. Yeah, good luck with that one. Let me know how that works with you, Chris. Caleb just said, if I see Chris Collinsworth on my TV, the mute button gets pressed.
I'm not gonna lie though. There's one issue with Chris Collinsworth that's very blatant. When Patrick Mahomes is not playing, there's still a way that Patrick Mahomes gets brought up in
Yes.
every conversation.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
so
That's
bad.
even that was even a drinking game during. the
Yes. It's like it's
I remember
constant.
that.
It's
That's great.
constant. Like I mean, obviously, we know Chris Collinsworth has that man crush on him, but dude, you let it so well known. Now, Chris, you and I both have had many talks about the sports world, and we keep going back to the game of football. When you were turned on to or introduced to this great game of football, give us how old you were when it happened, and what is your fondest memories of football growing up? Now, remember, folks, he's in his 20s, so he's still very young. So, but what are your fondest memories growing up watching football, and also who introduced you to football?
I just want to say my family was mainly the part of it. They were all super into big football, especially my brother. He was watching it since he was little. I believe the first time I got introduced to it was at my grandma's house. We were at a Christmas party or something. We were at some sort of party, and I believe it was the Bears versus Vikings in a playoff game. It was either Bears Vikings or Bears Packers. I want to say it might have been Bears Packers. I have no idea. But watched it, fell in love with the sport, and then remember watching Superman Cam Newton back in like 2015 that he won MVP, I believe.
Yeah.
20,
Yeah,
he
15.
went
15. Yep.
15, yeah. He was so fun to watch, just what he could do. It pretty much introduced, in my opinion, the modern age of dual threat QB, with how just athletic he was and how explosive he was in general. And then just overall, just the middle of the 2010s just was so good for football. So good. I mean, the physicality. I remember OBJ versus Josh Norman when that was the whole debate.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was classic. Obviously, you said the dual threat. I encourage you to go YouTube Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon.
Yep.
Those were.
Yep. I watched
those were.
I wasn't alive for them, but I watched highlights of them.
Yeah, I remember many times turning on and watching Randall Cunningham just absolutely shred every defense he could ever play against. I remember when it was the year 1998. It was the year the Vikings were going to win the whole shebang, and then they ran into this player called Morton Anderson of the Atlanta Falcons, and he kicks the game-winning field goal to send the Falcons to the Super Bowl '98, and of course we got blown up by the Denver Broncos. And everybody says the Vikings were the only team that was probably going to go neck and neck with the Broncos that year. Shane, go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, well, Chris, once again, man, we appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit about the NFL with us. We've seen some big moves this offseason, and some head scratching ones as well. Kind of that we've seen. But I want to get your thoughts on some of the moves that haven't been made yet. We've still got a bunch of good older free agents, but good free agents out there. With Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Joey Bosa. We got Jonnu Smith still out there. Kind of decent guys that you can kind of rely on in certain situations. What are your thoughts on why we're seeing them not go anywhere this late? And is it because everybody's just waiting around for June 1st and that AJ Brown trade to go down?
Well, so we've kind of seen it slowly start. Jawan Jennings and Njoku were in that cycle as well. Jennings wanted a high number, and he eventually came down, and he ended up with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm assuming he'll try to go for a better number next year, but he ended up in a great situation. David Njoku realized he wasn't going to get the pay either that he wanted, and he eventually ended up with the Chargers. Could be competing for a starting spot there. I don't know if he'll start over Gatson or not. I'm assuming he would, but I don't know. Teams or people like Diggs and Bosa, I think, want to go to a contender that can win him a ring. Diggs, I'm trying to recall. I don't think he has one yet.
he
I don't think
doesn't.
he has one. I'm assuming he's waiting out for a contender to sign him, or he wants money. I mean, it's one of the two. If I was Diggs, I would go for a ring, but that's just me. Bosa's the same thing. I honestly really hope the Bears kind of maybe go out and grab him. 1 year, $5 million. Like a prove it deal, but also we're in an era where we can actually, win a playoff game for once. We haven't done that since 2018, and then I don't want to get into it with Cody Parkey, but anyway, just in general, most of these guys I think are waiting for a contender to come calling or the money to be right, and then when the money isn't right, they're slowly coming down on their asking price until somebody gives them eventually what they want when their price lowers.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say it could be worse. You could have Blair Wolf. You could have
That
Blair
is
Wolf
true.
as a
That is
kicker.
true. I remember
Or
watching that
Tyler
playoff
Luke.
game. That
So,
was also really bad.
I'm also surprised that Tyreek Hill hadn't been picked up yet, but and
it's like
Tyreek
bent
Hill,
backwards.
Tyreek, I think, will get picked up before the season starts.
I could definitely see that happening too. Ben, go ahead,
He's a
man.
sheep. He's a sheep.
Love it.
He's going back to the Chiefs, man.
I can see it.
That's where I
One
would
year,
see it.
$4 million deal. Calling it now.
I can see it.
Yeah, Chris. I do have one last question for you. What has been, of all the people that you've gotten to, interview and all the people that you've gotten to speak with across your time as a podcaster, what is your all time, like your favorite interview? It sticks out in your brain. You think about it. You think about it day in and day out, man. What is your favorite interaction that you've ever had?
Honestly, in my opinion, all my interactions are great. I mean, if I had to
He's
pick a
picking an easy
favorite,
answer.
yeah, no, that's the easy answer. But in my opinion, it was the interview that I had with Justin Arth. He was a professional QB coach. It was one of my first interviews. Super humble dude, hardworking. Had mini camp opportunities, I believe, with the Vikings. Lions, I believe, was one. He went to like 4 different camps. I think the Panthers was another one, but don't quote me on that. No, he was a super humble dude. Told me his entire journey. I mean, overall, he was a great guy. And then also, at the beginning, you did say I was having that interview with the Delaware State guy. I already had the interview with him. Great dude. Super humble as well. Has goals, like he's high in the standard for goals. I believe he said in the next 5 years he wants to go to the NFL. He's already been there it's like I don't remember what the role's called because it's really weird, but it's like an offensive assistant kind of, but not exactly. It's like a fellow. I don't know.
Fellowship.
Something like that, but I don't remember what it was called. It's very specific. But no, most of my interviews have been great. I mean, the other big one I had was with Bears defensive tackle Jaden Loving, and he was a great dude. All of these people I've interviewed are super humble and super hardworking, and just getting their stories and where everybody comes from is such a great experience to kind of be able to listen to.
Awesome.
Yeah. When we had Gerald Riggs on our show, that was a pretty cool experience. Gerald Riggs won the Super Bowl with the Washington Redskins. He's in the Atlanta Falcons Ring of Honor. Was absolutely the coolest thing to do, is to talk to him. I'm actual personal friends with Jamal Anderson, Mr. Dirty Bird himself, and it's just a great experience. You're right. There are a lot of people, and Gerald even came out and said he doesn't like to talk to people much since his playing days have ended. He likes to keep to himself, and that's kind of been a sentiment we've heard a lot of. John Abraham came on our show and told us the same thing, and we had Jonathan Wells from the Houston Texans on. It's just they all have such amazing journeys and how they start from basically nothing and go into something. And they keep a humble approach to everything. It's just amazing. His name is Chris. He is the founder of the Ultimate Playbook Podcast. Chris, when is your next episode so everybody can tune in, man?
So I upload episodes once a week on Spotify. Obviously, host of the Playbook Pod. If you search that on Spotify, I'm sure you'll find it. Instagram too. If you find my Instagram, you'll find every other link. It's Ultimate Playbook 13, like what Shane has in the background there.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, just hopefully going to get bigger and hopefully going to be interviewing more people. That's the goal.
Right on, man. Well, Chris, I want to say thank you, seriously, man, for coming on our show, talking to us about your story, And man, I'm definitely going to have you on again in the future. I hope you're okay with that.
Yes, sir. Was a blast to be on here talking to you guys about the NFL in general. And yeah, you guys have had success. Congratulations on 10,000 subscribers. You guys deserved it. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you at 20K pretty soon.
Right on, man. Well, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon, Chris. Until then, enjoy your evening and we'll talk soon, brother. All right.
Yep. You too.
All right. Take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Oh my goodness. What? That is so cool. Like, come on. That was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed that one, but y'all, it's this man sitting right here. Ben, did you get your ears lowered?
No, I just got a haircut, man. It was time. I had a
That's a
had a
southern
big
term.
mop
You know
on
that,
my-
right?
Huh?
That's a southern term. Get your
What?
ears lowered. Get your haircut. Makes your ears show.
Yeah.
It looks good though, man.
It was just time to get that mop off my head, man.
Hey, nothing wrong with that one. I gotta get my. Don't make any jokes, Shane. Bite the tongue. You were about to. I know it. God, I know you so well.
It's all right. I'll say it for you, Shane. He's got to cut on 2 hairs on his head. So.
Man, you're too funny. I forgot to laugh.
You got that old Homer Simpson going on up there.
I'm ignoring you. Anyways, guys, the Tampa Bay Rays Stadium has been agreed upon. Yes, the demolition will start soon of Old Tropicana. This stadium will cost roughly $2.8 billion. Jeez. Now, if anyone has ever been to St. Pete, and I know Ben has definitely been there, going to see a Rays game isn't exactly on everyone's destination list right off the bat, and you're not really wanting to ride home to mom about.
You're not right now. Yeah, no, not right now.
Yeah, and the team plays in an area that isn't known really right for baseball, but what are y'all's thoughts on the stadium renderings? And with this team also reportedly going up for sale soon, could we finally see the team open up its checkbook and spend to be great year in and out? And by the way, here is the renderings, folks. If you haven't seen it yet, that is what the Tropicana, new Tropicana as they call it, is going to look. And I'm going to start with you because you've been there, Ben. What are your thoughts on this new stadium? And then also, are they going to finally open that that checkbook up and spend?
Well, I think rumor has it that they're, if I remember correct, and the renderings may be on that post that you're reading may say this, but rumor has it that they're going to move the ballpark further inland from St.
Yes,
Pete.
it does say
it's
that.
going to be, if I remember correct, it's going to be, I want to say towards the Buccaneers Stadium, isn't it?
Yep.
It's going to be in that neighborhood.
I think like literally right across.
Literally, yeah, right down. You
can
can see it from Raymond J.
Well-
Stadium. That's how close it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the temporary ballpark they're playing at. It's not far from Raymond James. But yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, you look how good they are right now. I mean, they're one of the hottest teams in the major league right now. And, you know, they definitely have a team to pull for. I will say this. I think, you know, if you're asking the question of, do you think they'll open the checkbook to be better consistently? Sure. I mean, absolutely. Especially if they get a new ownership in here. You know, if they actually do sell a team and they get a new owner come in and he's serious about, hey, look, guys, we're going to build a winning team. I'm not about, you know, just existing. I don't care just about ticket sales. We're going to win games, and that's what's going to bring ticket sales. If they get an owner like that, then yeah, I mean, it has to start at the top. I mean, if they're going to, I mean, yeah, they're winning right now, but I mean, let's be real, guys. The Rays are not usually a winning team. You know, they're having a great season this year, but you know, it really depends on the type of owner they get. But yeah, I definitely could see them, you know, breaking the bank more often. And I think it's great that they're getting a new stadium. You know, it's definitely needed. They needed it before Hurricane Milton.
Yep.
But Hurricane Milton just kind of expedited.
It was kind of a blessing in disguise, right?
Milton kind of expedited that process a little bit. So.
And Ben will tell you also the same thing I've sentimented. Tropicana Field is not like, it's not somewhere you can be like, oh my God, I'm looking forward to going to Tropicana Field, because it's a rust bucket. It's a dump. It really is. I hate to say it that way. It really is a dump. And so, folks, if you don't know where it's at, all right, so St. Petersburg, Florida is not traditionally your baseball. However, you go across the Howard and the Gandy and you see Raymond J. Stadium. And people have all said it needed to be, the team needed to be put in downtown Tampa or in Ybor City, which is right outside of downtown Tampa. And I agree wholeheartedly that they should. have been there, but that's just me. Shane, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this stadium is going to be revolutionary for the Rays organization?
Well, I can tell you, I think they're missing the buck here with making it revolutionary, because they could shape that whole stadium like a ray, like a stingray,
Oh, that'd be cool.
and yeah, have like a entrance way with the tail and everything coming up, and the actual stadium being the actual full body of the stingray. Just popped into my mind. It was like, man, that would be cool for
Oh
sure.
God, yeah.
And
I'd be
with
down to go
that,
see that.
yeah, and with that, as long as they bring the tanks in with the actual live rays in them,
Oh, dude.
as long as they bring that over from the old Tropicana to the new Tropicana, I'll be satisfied, because that's one of the things that they've had since late '90s, early 2000s. Yep. So definitely exciting to see a new stadium being built there. It's a great city, atmosphere, and could be a great all-star game backdrop. During that first couple weeks in July, definitely could see wanting to go down there to see an all-star game in a brand new over $2 billion stadium.
God, yeah. Could you imagine how cool it would be just to be walk into a darn near $3 billion facility?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you see them all the time now. I think to have a shot at anything. We saw Nashville with their new stadium and what they're doing, just getting awarded a Super Bowl in 2030.
Yep.
So I mean, if you're gonna pay the big bucks to play the game and to be in that conversation for those special type of events. So definitely great to see that they're kind of staying there and not moving like we've heard rumors in the past that they were, but I believe it was with Peter Blake, we had him on not too long ago, and we talked about the potential for them moving right across the street from Raymond James, and he kind of said the same sentiment that we say. It's a great move.
Yep, absolutely fantastic move. Hey, so I got a question for all of you guys, and I want you guys to really think. I know the answer. I'll show you the picture. I'll share it to you in a minute. So everybody tuning in also, here's your question. What is the longest softball game ever played, and when was it played? This is college, okay? Now, I have the picture, so I know exactly. Obviously, the reason why we're talking about it is because the Women's College World Series is underway. So I'm going to start right away with you, Ben. First off, I want you to tell me, how long do you think the game was, and when do you think this game took place?
I would say it had to have taken place pretty far back, because I mean, I feel like I would have heard about it. I don't know. I can barely remember. I was going to say, I feel like ESPN would have, made a big, they would have made a big, news about it, but I don't know. I can barely remember what I did this morning, so who knows? I feel like it had to have been a ways back.
Give me.
I cannot tell you the team, but I'm gonna say it was back in either the early thousands and maybe tens, maybe 90s. I'm gonna say it went on for at least, let's say 22 innings.
Ooh, good guess. What about you, Shane?
Well, you don't send me a rundown with this topic and expect me not to know the answer.
I know you probably Googled this answer.
Oh no! I Googled, I looked up, I went on the NCAA sites, I went on everything.
I'm not allowed to cheat like that, man.
It literally says Shane is our researcher in the intro.
So, but
there's a difference between researching and cheating.
Well, that's why I'm going to give you the one that came to my mind that I can remember actually watching as the longest softball game that I've seen in college, and that was the 17-inning showdown in 2017 for the first game of the College World Series championship.
Yep.
Between Oklahoma and Florida State.
Yep.
But I'm not going to spoil your fun, Brandon, but I've got some pretty good facts too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is the Western Athletic Conference Championship between Creighton and Utah reached a whopping 31 innings, and the year was 1991. And Creighton won 1-0, and the game ended at 12:25 in the morning. What in the world? That is crazy.
Only
Think about
two pitchers the whole
That's
game,
insane.
one for each team.
Think about
One
that
of
for a
them-
second,
one
too,
of them
folks.
threw like 390, the other one threw like 342 or something like that.
Think about
Had
this
to
for a
rip
second.
they would have had to amputate my arms after
God,
that.
yeah. And you only play 7 innings in softball, and you're talking 31 innings. By the way, the score the whole time was 0-0, and then you get the obligatory run, and wow, 31 innings.
Yeah.
Tip your caps to those
Well,
ladies for real.
You want to know the sad thing?
What's that?
After that 31 inning game,
What?
they had to play another game because that was in the championship. So there was the best 2 out of 3 series. They played another game. That game was 25 innings.
I tell you
Wait
what,
a
those
minute.
two had that
Was the
number.
next game the next day?
Yeah,
The same
my
day,
gosh.
really.
same day, really.
I
That's what
would
they
have.
do.
I would have filed. I would have filed like a question, like a request to the NCAA. Like, hey, can we make a special exception here? Like, can we
Just
push
take
it
a
a
day
couple
off.
days out? Let us have a break.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
that's the 31 innings is the longest. The 25 inning is the
Second
tied
longest.
for the second longest because the other longest actually is the longest in the College World Series,
Yep.
which is between who was it? Cal Poly Sonoma and Texas A&M.
Wow.
That was back, I think, like 84.
Way before
So-
y'all's time. I'm kidding. I was born in 84, so that's a long time. So there is your little trivia that we like to throw at you guys. Now that answer was, and we were going to do sports stories, but because we're time constraint, it is now time for the we will actually air our sports stories on Friday. I promise you, you're going to like all of our sports stories. But it is time for the honorable mentions, where we give you 2 to 5 sports stories the mainstream media doesn't cover enough of, but we do. It's literally in our name, the Sportz Nutz. My first honorable mention goes out to the PGA. Excuse me. Wow. Talk much, Brandon? The PGA Championship over the weekend. Saw some really, really good golf, Shane. And you know, the course though that they played at was, oh my goodness, Aeronomic Golf Club in Newton Square, Pennsylvania. And they were not crazy scores, although Rory McIlroy would like to say a little piece of that one as well, because he came on with a fury. But shout out to the winner of the tournament. Remind me his name, Shane. I just drew a blank. Who was the one that won the PGA this weekend?
Aaron Rye.
That's right. But yeah, Roy McIlroy did make it pretty interesting when he had that feverish comeback to make it worthy of a match. But congratulations, though. Great tournament. I had a lot of fun watching it. Shane, give us your first honorable mention.
Well, tag on with you on that one. You know, that tournament, you know, it's a major tournament. So the scores were right along with the Masters winners and stuff like that. It was crazy to see what you had 23 players within 5 strokes of the lead going into the final round. So definitely made for interesting TV and all. So trust and believe it was back and forth between that and the race on Sunday for sure.
Don't lie, you had the multi-view on. Don't lie.
I did for a little bit. But my first honorable mention is going to go out to Lander University, their baseball team. They broke an NCAA record this year. They were hit by a pitch 177 times.
Wow.
In 54 games. So the average just over 3.25, I believe, a game hits batsman. So
It's so weird, like they did that so many times.
3 guaranteed guys on base every game.
That's a crazy stat line.
Yeah, they had 21 players total get hit by a pitch.
Wow.
8 players were hit 10 times or more. 2 players were hit 20 times or more.
Oh my God.
So
How many ejections took place from this, though? Was there any?
I'm not sure. It seems with that many, it seems to be a tactic of crowding the plate and causing base runners, playing true small ball at that, and they had a pretty decent season at that. Just recently lost to North Georgia in the regional, but congrats on a great season and setting those records that people rarely hear about.
Literally. Oh man, Ben, give us your first honorable mention, man.
Yeah. My first honorable mention is going to go to a man by the name of Joe Ingles. If any of y'all know who that is, he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves this year. I think he's played for probably, I don't know, 25 NBA teams. He's been a part of the whole rainbow, and he's a certified unk at this point. But brother can still shoot. He probably can't. I could probably jump higher than him, but he can shoot. Joe Ingles is returning to the NBL, the National Basketball League. Now, some of y'all may be asking, well, what the heck is that? The National Basketball League is in Australia, and he is returning back to his original city where he started his professional career. He started his professional career in Melbourne, Australia, and the original team, the South Dragons, is now defunct. But the team that he is going to be a part of now is still in the same city where he started his pro career. So talk about a full circle moment for Mr. Joe Ingles.
Literally, you just literally went around the entire globe, basically. I love that. My second honorable mention goes out to the UCLA Bruins over the weekend in softball, where they were down by 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs, and they walked it off against Cal Baptist by a score of 12-11. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Grant, who I highlighted in one of my sports stories, who also played on the basketball team. Mm-hmm. She hit her 40th home run of the season, extending that record even further with a grand slam against South Carolina in the final, I believe, of the region.
And he also, I don't know if you guys do either one of you guys have an honorable mention about Texas Tech by chance in softball?
No, but I was going to tag on with you
on
that because I was going to shout out both the Tech teams in the regional. Not only Texas Tech, who was down 8
to nothing. They were down 8 to nothing.
8-0 going into the 7th inning. Came back, tied it, and then ended up winning it in the 10th.
Tell them what the record is, though, for them too.
I'm not sure about the record. I know it was 0 and something. Now it's
0 and 640.
Yeah,
0 and 640. No one has ever come back and won after being down 7+ runs, and they did it.
Yep, and then shout out to the other Tech team that was playing in the regionals, Virginia Tech. That same evening, they came back. I believe they were down 7-1 in the 7th. And came back and won the game in the 7th. So I think the record for that one was like 4 and 390 something.
Crazy.
And they made it 5. And Texas Tech was one of those 4 because it happened earlier in the day.
Yeah,
so,
that's crazy.
so definitely I was going to tag along with you on that one.
I like it.
My second honorable mention is going to go out to the UFL. And their broadcasting partners in a game between the St. Louis Battlehawks and the Columbus Aviators. There was a questionable call in the middle of the game with a no call on a crucial 3rd down that led to a field goal. But the UFL does a great job with transparency and everything else. Well, so do the broadcasting partners, because they ask permission from the referees up there in the booth if they could interview the ref that made the call on the field and see why he made the call. It's great to see for the refs to get up there and give their side and what they actually see on the field and why or did.
Uh-oh. Can't hear you.
Definitely great. Yep, definitely great to see as far as the transparency and all goes. But man, take a page out of the UFL's book, NFL. Let us hear what's going on.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Whoa, that was a pretty cool interview." Ben, give us your next honorable mention, please. Just can't hear you. There you go.
Yeah, to kind of just piggyback off of what Shane said, I love what the ACC network does in college football, where you can kind of hear in the headset and say,
yes,
you can hear the refs are, they're saying, okay, is it a pass interference? Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Like that, we need that for every league. In high school too, we need that. That would really add a lot of accountability, transparency. It definitely would add a lot to the game. But my next honorable mention, it's actually going to go to, and I'm probably stealing Shane's, but I'm going to say it anyway. Denny Hamlin winning his second All-Star race at Dover.
Not mine. Don't worry.
Hey, that man that he won his second All-Star race, and he has won 61 total races. The big thing about this, why it's huge news, is because he spun out in the middle of the race, and he was still able to recover from that and still end up winning the All-Star race nonetheless. So huge props to this Mr. Denny Hamlin.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
there weren't but a couple cars that left there without a scrape. But anyway,
oh yeah,
and yeah, but that brother spun out though. He spun out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think they all did at some point, either in practice, qualifying, or the race at some point.
Hey, I like it. That's a good one, man.
Shane just don't want to give him his props. That's
no, I don't. Not Denny.
My third and final honorable mention goes out to the entire first round of the Women's College World Series in general. A lot of great matchups took place. There were some firsts. We saw Stetson get their first ever NCAA tournament win by upsetting Florida State at Florida State, by the way, 8-3. We saw UNCG get their first, which is, in case you guys were wondering, that's University of North Carolina, Greensboro, get their first ever NCAA win against Clemson by a score of 1-0. Wagner scored their first ever run in an NCAA tournament as well. Loved watching these amazing ladies compete and show everyone they are, in fact, world-class athletes. Shane, give us your third and final honorable mention.
Oh, yeah. Well, my last honorable mention is going to go out to Paige Gamby, a senior at Tenora High School in Ohio. She's an all-state athlete in softball, volleyball, and wrestling. Well, in her last wrestling match, she tore her meniscus, so that hindered her senior softball season. Well, in the very last game of the season, coach put her up the bat, and wouldn't you know it, boom, Oppo field over the right field fence for a home run in her first at bat and last at bat of her senior softball season. I believe she was
any better.
Yeah. So it was definitely a longer home run trot, more like a walk in the limp. But definitely great to see. And man, whenever she got the home plate with her teammates and everybody there, it was a pretty cool scene to see.
Oh yeah, I've seen there's that one girl in college softball this year. She tore her ACL and MCL, completely done, and the coach let her throw the first pitch. That was her final pitch ever in softball, and she got to do it. I mean, it's just really cool. A great story. I like that one. Ben, give us your third and final honorable mention.
I'm going to bring it back to the NBA. We started out the NBA. We made a journey from the NBA to the racing world, to NASCAR world. Now we're going back to basketball. We're going to talk about a name by the name of Mr. Alex Caruso. scoring 8 3-pointers last
Wow.
night. And that's not to be outdone by the fact that he also had 2 steals and 2 blocks for a totaling of 31 points. Maybe he should give the MVP some tips on how to score. Because SGA, brother, man, I don't know what your deal is, but you got to get your crap together, dude. You're the MVP, man. You can't be scoring. You can't be scoring 12, 14, 16 points and expect to win, dude. Ain't gonna do it.
Yep.
How
And,
about
tag
the Victor
along
Wim?
with you? Yeah, tag along with you on that one, Victor Wembanyama.
God, he looked
with
like a
the,
freak of nature. He was amazing.
40, 43?
41 points.
41, yeah. 41 and 20, what, 7?
41, 27, and 4.
It was 41-24, I believe. 41
And he had 4 blocks.
Yeah, but in a conference finals debut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he hit a 3-pointer from the logo like it was nothing too. Like I mean,
yeah, he pulled up.
bread butter.
He pulled up, and the game was still in doubt at that point. By
Yeah.
the way. It wasn't just like what the heck. I mean, no, it was like
Clean it up.
I think they were only up by like 2 or something at the time, and
Yeah.
he just hurry.
And it was amazing, and I love.
I'm pretty sure it was the same spot Curry hit that infamous 3. By the way,
Probably.
I'm pretty sure it's the same spot.
I love the interview one of the reporters at the end after the game asked, what was it? What is it like when you see a player like Victor Wembanyama? And he goes, well, the dude's 8 feet, so yeah, it's kind of cool when you see someone hit a logo 3. So yeah, I love it. But yeah, Victor Wembanyama, man, he really is. He is a sight to behold. So,
but here's the scary part with that: the fact that he had to score 41 points, and the Spurs only won by what, 4?
Yeah. And double overtime.
I don't know if it's sustainable, man. I'm just saying. Now, Chet, honestly, I blame Chet more than I blame SGA. Chet needs to get his crap together and stop being soft.
Although that block on Victor Wembanyama was pretty amazing.
I mean, here's the deal, man. You know you're not going to shut Wemby down. No one is.
No.
But try to hold him to 26, 24. If Chet can just slow him down, the Thunder win the series easily. Going away.
I agree. Oh man, but y'all, what an amazing! This is an amazing, seriously amazing episode. First off, huge thank you to our good friend Tony Gladstone for his Tony Knows Ball series he does with us, and we want to thank you to Chris for coming on as well from the Ultimate Playbook. We really enjoyed it. But it's always, it always stinks to say goodbye to everyone. But you know what though, we'll be back with you again. It's on Friday too. Here is a list of the upcoming episodes we have on docket. So 231 will be this Friday, May 22nd. Our good friend Stu Paul, who covered the New York Knicks and other sporting events through TV and radio, he is joining us to talk about his journey. Really cool about that one. Now, this one, I'm waiting to hear back, but episode 232, I got ahead of myself. Tuesday, May 26th, the return of the Mac. Yes, Marcus Mack is back, and he has confirmed he will be there. He will not forget about it. And then on this one is the one I'm talking about, episode 233, Friday, May 22nd. JT Snow, who played in the Major League Baseball for a long time, is slated to join us. I have to make sure that is the actual date. I gave him a bunch of other dates, but my source said that would be the date that would work for him, so we'll see. He also is part owner of the Modesto Roasters, so that's why. Episode 234 is Tuesday, June the 2nd. Wait. We're in June. Dadgum. Our guy Tony is back. We always have a good time with him. And by the way, we always enjoy having his views too. He's a great friend of ours. So as you guys see, we have a lot of big things lined up. There is actually a college softball player. Her name is, I'm going to tell you, her name is Maya Johnson. She played for Belmont University. She has lupus and almost ended her entire softball career. She got drafted into professional softball. I'm trying to finalize a date with her. Really cool story. I encourage you guys to look up her story. Really, really remarkable. So with that being said, for everybody who tuned into the show tonight, for everybody who will tune in the coming days, as well as our international audience, again, we really do thank you. You have no idea how much we appreciate you. You helped us now achieve one milestone after another, which is the 10,000 subscriber mark. Our next one is the year in goal that Shane and I put was 12,500. Can we break that goal too? I think it's possible, and we can do it with your help. Ben, give everybody your final goodbyes, please, sir.
Yeah, well, everybody stay safe out there. Stay cool. Summer is here. Hopefully we get some rain, down here in the South. But everybody have a good week. Stay safe, and God bless.
Absolutely. And as Matt would also tell you, don't get flagged in a game of life. Unfortunately, Matt did not join us tonight because he had to work, and that's perfectly fine. So, Shane, give us your final goodbyes, please, sir.
Well, first off, thank you everybody out there who liked, followed, subscribed. Everything really means the world to us. And hopefully we can continue down the right path for you guys. But as always, may the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. And as I always tell you, peace up, A-Town down. Why it's the greatest sports city there ever was. Hey, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. And as you guys did see, we started with Chris about the schedule releases. Go check them out. There's some really good ones out there. We will be back with you on Friday. Until then, stay safe, enjoy this weather, and we'll talk to you soon. As always, enjoy this outro, and goodbye.